Picture this. A thunderous roar echoes across Optus Stadium as the Wallabies charge forward, only for a New Zealand boot to slice through the air like a vengeful arrow, pinning the ball dead in the in-goal. Hearts stop. The crowd gasps. Is this the moment Australia crumbles? Or does a hidden hero rise from the ashes to flip the script forever? You won't believe what unfolds next in this blood-soaked showdown. Smash that subscribe button right now and join the frenzy on Aussie NRL updates. Your front row seat to every bone-crunching tackle and glory-grabbing try. The siren wails, and the colossus of Optus Stadium awakens under the Perth sunset, a cauldron of 60,000 souls pulsing with raw, unfiltered rivalry. Australia, the Wallabies, stride onto the hallowed turf with fire in their eyes, led by a captain whose scars tell tales of battles lost and won against the Black Tide. James Slipper, on his 151st and final test, grips the ball like it's his last breath, his retirement a ticking bomb that could either inspire immortality or hasten defeat. Opposite them, the All Blacks emerge from the shadows, a machine of precision and power, 7 changes in their lineup whispering of calculated dominance after snatching the Bledisloe Cup last week in Sydney. The air crackles with the scent of eucalyptus and adrenaline, every player a gladiator forged in the fires of national pride. As the ref's whistle pierces the din, the kickoff sails high, and suddenly, it's chaos, a fumble in the wet grass, a desperate dive, and the first blood drawn as a Wallaby forward smashes through the line, only to be hauled down inches short. The crowd erupts, but wait, a TMO review flashes on the big screen. Yellow card looming? No, play on, but the tension coils tighter. Australia builds phases, recycling possession like a relentless wave crashing against Kiwi rocks. Tom Wright slicing the defence with a grubber that teases the line. Then, surprise, a turnover. Ardie Savea, the All Blacks' Dark Knight, snatches the ball mid-air, counterattacks with venom, and suddenly the visitors are thundering towards the try line. The Wallabies scramble, but Damian McKenzie's crossfield kick hangs like fate itself, landing in the arms of a winger who dots down untouched. Conversion good, 0-7, and the stadium falls silent for a heartbeat before the Harker's echo fades into boos. But here's the hook. Slipper rallies his troops, a line-out steal leads to a maul that rumbles forward 20 metres, and Angus Bell crashes over for Australia's riposte. 7-7, level at the quarter mark, but as the ball squirts loose in a ruck, a hidden hand taps it back. Offside? The ref's arm rises. Penalty to New Zealand. Cliffhanger. Will this gift swing the momentum, or does Australia's bench, packed with fresh firebrands like Fraser McReight, ignite a comeback that rewrites history? The storytelling unfolds in every grunt, every sidestep, painting a canvas of brotherhood tested by betrayal, where one nation's anthem drowns in the other's roar. Phases stack like dominoes on the edge, the score teetering, and just when you think the Wallabies have cracked the code with a penalty from Noah Lolesio, a rogue bounce evades a defender, gifting the All Blacks field position that screams danger. Retention spikes as the narrative twists. Is this the surprise turnover that buries Australia, or the spark for a heroic surge? Words can't capture the raw poetry. Forwards grinding like ancient millstones, backs dancing on knife edges, the clock a merciless foe. Yet in this symphony of sweat and strategy, moments of pure shock emerge. A Wallaby intercept that races 50 metres untouched, only halted by a desperate tap tackle from Will Jordan, leaving the try line mocking just 5 metres away. The half-time hooter looms, but not before one last gasp. Mackenzie's drop goal attempt curls wide, and the teams trudge off level, the air thick with unspoken vows of vengeance. This isn't just rugby, it's a saga etched in mud and muscle, where curiosity about the next play keeps you glued, heart pounding in sync with the drumbeat of destiny. Deep into the second stanza, the floodlights blaze like accusatory eyes, illuminating a pitch now scarred by the first half's fury, where every divot whispers of near misses and might-have-beens. Australia emerges from the sheds transformed, Slipper's pre-match words, a vow to leave it all on the field for his swan song, fueling a ferocity that sees them pin New Zealand in their 22 from the restart. The maul builds, inexorable as a tsunami, and suddenly, surprise erupts. Len Ikitau bursts through a gap the size of a heartbeat, offloading to Pete Samu, who grounds it under the posts. Lolesio's boot adds 2, 14-7, and Optus Stadium shakes as if the earth itself cheers the underdog's bite. But the All Blacks, ever the Phoenix, refuse to burn. A line-out miscue gifts them turnover ball, and in a blur of black jerseys, Caleb Clark evades 3 tacklers, his try a dagger to the ribs, Mackenzie converting to level at 14 all. The crowd's roar morphs to a collective gasp. How did they turn defence into devastation in seconds? Cliffhanger alert. Australia's response? A high ball bombs into Kiwi territory, contested fiercely, but a knock-on hands possession back. The storytelling deepens here, weaving threads of redemption and revenge. Slipper, the grizzled veteran, marshals his pack for a scrum that shoves the All Blacks off their feed, earning penalties that inch the Wallabies forward. Yet shock strikes again. A charge down by Beauden Barrett snuffs a promising attack, leading to a counter that has the visitors knocking on the door. Minutes tick like heartbeats in a thriller novel. The score stagnant but the tension volcanic. Welcome to Aussie NRL Updates, where we live every pulse of this epic. Don't blink, or you'll miss the twist that could crown a legend. Phases grind on, rucks resembling battlefield malaise, where hands claw for the ball amid grunts. That echo ancestral wars. Then, the moment of pure curiosity. A Wallaby penalty kick sails towards the corner, but a gust, Perth's tricky wind, curves it dead, forcing a dropout that New Zealand fields poorly, gifting Australia a 5-metre scrum. The push, the strain, the explosion. Bell again powers over, 21-14, and the stadium ignites. But retention soars with the counterpunch. Savia strips the ball in contact, races clear, and offloads to a supporting Mark Tellier for the instant reply, 21-21, the seesaw swinging wildly. This narrative isn't linear. It's a labyrinth of what-ifs, each tackle a chapter, each offload a revelation. As fatigue creeps in, surprises multiply, a yellow to a Kiwi prop for cynical play, handing Australia a man-up surge that teases another score, only for Ikitau to spill under pressure. The clock hits 60 minutes, and here's the hook. With the Bledisloe safe in black hands, do the All Blacks ease off, or does pride demand a championship-clinching rout? The Wallabies, sensing blood, launch a blitz, Wright's chip chased down, but Jordan's boot clears to touch. Compelling doesn't cover it. This is rugby as raw emotion, curiosity spiked by every whistle, every replay revealing a hidden foul or heroic hold. The storytelling crescendos as substitutes flood the fray, fresh legs injecting chaos, and just when New Zealand seems to edge ahead with a Mackenzie penalty, 21-24, Slipper's final charge sets up a line-out play that spirals into magic, a wraparound move, a decoy runner, and suddenly, Samu dots down again, Lalicio nailing the touchline conversion for 28-24. The half unravels in a frenzy of errors and brilliance, cliffhanger piling like unanswered questions in a detective tale, keeping viewers chained to the edge. The final quarter unleashes hell, the scoreboard a battlefield littered with points and possibilities, as both sides, battered but unbowed, dig into reserves deeper than ocean trenches. Australia, now trailing by 3 after a sneaky All Blacks penalty, circles like wolves scenting weakness. Slippers voice a thunderclap in the huddle, urging one last stand for eternity. The restart cannons into Kiwi arms, but a fumbled catch gifts the Wallabies a scrum on halfway, and from the base, McRae snipes blindside, linking with Wright who burns inside the 22. Try time. No, a desperate ankle tap from Savia halts the charge, but the 5-metre tapback sets the trap. The maul forms, a human juggernaut, rumbling inexorably, and boom. Hooker Brandon Parengramosa crashes through the Armada for the score, Lalicio's conversion splitting the posts to lead 35-24. Shock ripples through the stands, the captain's farewell turning into a fairy tale? But New Zealand, the eternal storm, gathers fury, a line-out steal, a midfield bust by Jordie Barrett, and in a sequence of offloads that defies physics, Tellier crosses for his double, Mackenzie's kick narrowing to 35-31. The crowd's pulse races, curiosity peaking, with 10 minutes. Is this the surge that snatches victory from the jaws? Cliffhanger.